All right, I'm going to go over this study guide for your quiz tomorrow. So if you want to take notes, you're going to need the formulas for these areas, and there's a couple circumference problems on here as well. All right, number one.
Wait, that's quiz ASG?
Yeah, that's short for study guide. So number one is a parallelogram. The area of a parallelogram is equal to the base times the height. This dimension right here is the height of the parallelogram. So the area in this case is going to be equal to 6.5 times 2.4. So the area is equal to 15.6. In number two, it's another parallelogram. The height is just in a different position. Remember, when you're talking about base and height, okay, the base is always perpendicular to the height in any shape that you're dealing with. All right, so this is a parallelogram, so that means this top piece is parallel and the same length as the bottom piece. So this bottom is 22 as well. And right here, the 42 represents the height because it is perpendicular to or intersects with the bottom at 90 degrees. So your area here is going to be equal to 22 times 42. $924.
So it's just again area times P to base times height?
Yeah. Area is equal to base times height. In number three,
Was it 42 times 22?
yeah. All right, you're asked to find the area of the triangle. The area of a triangle is equal to 0.5 times the base times the height. And in this case, the height is not given. So what you have to do is pencil in a dashed line right here that is perpendicular to the base. So now, inside this triangle, you have a right triangle, and this H would represent the height. The 7 is your base. So now, in this right triangle, you need to use sine, cosine, or tangent to find this height. And we used SOHCAHTOA earlier in the year. And in this case, you have an angle measure. You're looking for opposite, and you're given hypotenuse. So that is a sine ratio. So the sine of 66 is equal to opposite over the hypotenuse. So to solve for h, you can multiply both sides of that equation by 15. So 15 times 66 sine equals 13.7. So now this 13.7 is your height, and this 7 is your base. So the area is going to be equal to 0.5 times the base, which is 7, times the height, which is 13.7.
Where'd you get the 0.5?
It's in the formula for the area of a triangle.
Oh, I see.
So 47.95 is the area of that triangle. Number 4. In number 4, you're asked to find the circumference of the circle. Leave your answer in terms of pi. That means that your answer has to have the pi symbol in it. Circumference of a circle is equal to, there's two formulas. You can multiply the pi times the diameter, or you can multiply 2 times pi times the radius. In this case, the 2.4 is the diameter, and you're asked to leave your answer in terms of pi. So the circumference of this circle is going to equal 2.4 pi. That's it. That's all you got to do. In number 5, you're given a circle again. But you're given this dimension, which is not the diameter, it's the radius. So if you're given the radius of a circle and you're asked to find the circumference, then use the formula that deals with radius, which is 2 times pi times r. So the circumference of this circle is equal to 2 times pi times the radius, which is 16. So in terms of pi, the circumference is equal to 32 pi. Number 6 says that the circumference of a circle is 76 pi. So circumference equals 76 pi. You're asked to find the diameter of the radius and the length of an arc of 100 degrees. So if 76 pi is the circumference, and circumference is equal to pi times diameter, then you can set these two, the 76 pi equal to pi times diameter. So if 76 pi equals pi times diameter, you can cancel the pi from both sides, and 76 is equal to the diameter. If 76 is equal to the diameter, the radius of a circle is equal to the diameter divided by 2. So 76 divided by 2 will equal the radius, which is, so 38 equals the radius. the length of an arc of 100 degrees. The length of the arc in this case will be equal to, there's 360 degrees in a circle. You're trying to find the length of an arc that's 100 degrees. So you write a fraction 100 over 360. Because this 100 is the portion of the circle you're trying to find the length of. And you multiply that by 76 pi, which is the circumference. And that will give you the length of that arc. So in your calculator, you can take 100 and divide it by 360. And it's sitting in your calculator, 0.27777. Then you can push times 76 times the pi button and hit equals. And you're going to get 66.32. I typed 100 divided by 360. I pushed equals times 76 times pi button and equals. Number 7. Find the area of a circle. Leave your answer in terms of pi. The area of a circle is equal to pi times the radius squared. And in this case, the radius is 7.7, so your area is going to be equal to pi times 7.7 squared. You're asked to leave the answer in terms of pi, so you're going to leave the pi symbol in your answer. So the area is equal to 7.7 in the calculator, and then you can push the x squared button. And it's 59.29. And just leave the pi symbol sitting next to it. So there's the area of a circle with a radius of 7.7. Number 8. In number 8, you're asked to find the area again. This time you're given the diameter, which is 5.1. Area is equal to pi times radius squared. And the radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. So in this case, the radius, which is this dimension, is 5.1 divided by 2, which is 2.55. So the area of this circle is going to be equal to pi times 2.55 squared. So the 2.55 is still sitting in your calculator. If you just push the x squared button, 6.5 pi would be the area of that circle. All right, on number 9. Number 9 says a team in a science class placed a chalk mark on the side of a wheel and rolled the wheel in a straight line. So you got a wheel, okay? They put a mark on the wheel, and then they rolled the wheel. The team then measured the distance the wheel had rolled and found it to be 15 centimeters. So when they rolled this wheel one time and the chalk mark was back down on the bottom again, that distance was 15 centimeters. That distance equates to the circumference of that wheel. So the circumference of that wheel is equal to 15. The question is, to the nearest tenth, what is the area of the wheel? Well, area is equal to pi times the radius squared. So in order to find the area, you need the radius. If you know the circumference, and you also know that circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius, then you can set these two values equal to each other, and you can solve for the radius. So you would set 2 times pi times the radius equal to 15. If you divide both sides by 2 pi, then the radius of that wheel is going to be equal to 15 divided by 2 pi. So in your calculator, if you type 15 divided by left parenthesis 2 times pi button, right parenthesis, and then hit equals. 15 divided by,
Okay.
and then left parenthesis,
Okay.
2 times pi button, right parenthesis, equals.
6 points.
You should get 2.387.
Oh, I hit equal.
Now, leave that sitting in your calculator. Don't do anything to it, because you got to use it again right here, right? So look, the area is going to be equal to this radius squared times the pi button again. So that value sitting in your calculator, you can use the whole value without writing it again. Just push x squared. That just squared the radius. And then push times the pi button and hit equals.
17.
And you should get 17.9, which is the area of that circle that had a circumference of 15. The rest of the study guide is vocabulary. So if you don't know, if you're not 100% confident with the definition of each of those terms, then I would use the next 20 minutes or so to look those up and spend some time familiarizing yourself with those terms, because those will complete the quiz tomorrow.